The following are text messages from Daniel Martell, stepfather to the two siblings, Lilly and Jack Sullivan, who went missing from their home in Nova Scotia May 2nd of this year. Just a disclaimer. I reached out to Daniel to verify the authenticity of the messages. He has not responded. These messages originated from a YouTube creator, Sunny, who claims to run a channel based on facts. I have to therefore assume she has verified the authenticity of the messages, which she says were sent from Daniel to her. Further, she has encouraged other creators to share them. Remember the other day, Belinda asked investigators, "Do you have any suspects?" Investigators said no. I asked investigators about what him and Belinda talked about, and he told me everything. Then I brought up that she put out the statement that our CMP have no suspects. He then goes on telling me that he regrets telling her because he thought she would keep it to herself. Can you imagine if I said that? I thank Belinda for that.
Now, sadly, it's not great news that there's really not a whole lot to report from the crime unit because they have no suspects whatsoever.
Okay, well, and I thank Daniel for that, because in that portion of text, Daniel, in fact, is confirming the validity of Belinda's story. Darren was so close to talking to Malaya a month ago, but Cindy and the family said nope. This portion of Daniel's text is interesting. He is speaking about Darren Gettys, someone who emerged stating they are related to the siblings' mother, Malaya Brooks Murray. Darren is known for his bold statements regarding knowing where the children are and that they are alive. In one of those statements, Darren in fact did state he needed to talk to one more person to confirm some information. At that time, Darren would not name that person that he needed to speak with. Daniel, however, has just enlightened us that in fact it was Malaya who Darren was looking to talk to for that confirmation. Us three on the property did not harm the kids. When I say I cooperate with major crimes, I really do. I tell them everything. I mean everything. I tell them every time I come in close proximity to Malaya for court or CPS. I tell them if I'm going to no service areas. I tell them about everything. Jim Walker, Alana King. I give them any locations the kids could possibly be. I gave them DNA. I was the one that insisted the blanket was important to the case. Major Crimes kept telling me it wasn't, but look now, the blanket is being sent for forensics. I can't share information on the forensics, but I was given info. I also have information on cadaver dogs, but was told not to share. The RCMP statements put out, I know a few days in advance. I was supposed to take another round of polygraph exams. When I asked when, they said they were no longer necessary. I asked why, but they declined to answer and skirted past the question. Major Crimes works around the clock and a lot of overtime. You know, in the last month, investigators have only come to me in person one time. I go to them 3 times a week. All I'm saying is it's not easy being the main target. If I'm the target, then parties involved need to make only one mistake. I also help in trying to come up with every possible situation the kids could be in, such as the area probably is not urban because risk factors are too great and the kids couldn't go outside. The individual or individuals who do that to kids are probably older or retired, possibly due to the fact they can supervise the kids without working. If they did work, there would have to be a swap in supervising the kids, or the other option is there's a couple that has the kids, so they are supervised without the need for phone calls or messages that leave a possible trail of evidence. I've helped since day one. I didn't hide. All the leaked stuff on the case came from me. I slowly leaked it over time to keep the kids in the news so they wouldn't be forgotten. No one sees what I'm doing behind the scenes. That's what I'm saying. It breaks my heart to see all of this. It also breaks my heart. I know things but can't speak because it will harm the investigation. Another thing, Commander of Operations pulled me aside after the day Malaya left and told me, "We now see you as the primary guardian for the kids, and everything we tell you is more detailed and much longer than the 2-minute phone calls we have with Malaya." I went up to the command center every day for briefs, and on the last day, the Command of Operations of SARS pulled me aside and privately, one-on-one, said to me, "Daniel, we brought in classified technology. We got approval from federal government, and I'm so sorry, Daniel, we don't believe they're in the woods." Every day I walk outside and I have a grim reminder of May 2nd. I see colorful ribbons by the thousands. I did all those camera interviews for what? Not fun, that's for sure. I lost everything from this disappearance. I can't spend time with my kids. I'm torn apart on the internet. But one thing still remains. When Meadow grows up, she will see that Dad did do lots for her sister and brother. He didn't hide. Even my other 2 kids wanted to help me. So here we learn how important Daniel is to the police. He has stated how they confide information so sensitive it could harm the integrity of the investigation if leaked. Yet Daniel admits he leaks information intentionally to keep the story in the news. He goes on to say the RCMP even inform him days before they themselves issue any news releases. Now, there's a very important piece of information contained in this section of text. When he says the commander of operations for SARS, which is search and rescue, told him they do not believe the kids are in the woods, which was the original narrative given by both Daniel and Malaya. One of the managers of SARS told the CBC News the exact opposite. Amy Hansen, indeed, has stated she thinks the children are in the woods.
I've seen, yes. We got the first call shortly after 11 on Friday morning on the 2nd that there was 2 children lost up here in Lansdowne, and we just deployed the team and got here as fast as we could.
And when you got that first call, did anything stand out about that first call as unique or unusual?
It's not common to have 2 lost subjects in that kind of scenario, so with kids like that, it's not common to have the 2. It's not uncommon, so a pair of hikers is overdue or something like that, but with kids it is a little uncommon to have 2 gone missing.
Have you found anything?
The only thing that we had was the boot prints that everybody, and we still cannot 100% say that they belong to the children, but that was pretty much the only thing that we had.
You think they're in the woods?
I have not been told anything to lead me to any other conclusion at this point.
Why can't you find them?
They're small, they'd be hiding. They would have crawled underneath something probably when they got tired. They could have gone further than what we searched. There's all kinds of scenarios.